First met Maggie Thatcher on the 25th anniversary of the Falklands War. It was a great honour to meet her, to say thanks for what she'd done. It was a very sad day for the Falklands because she was our true hero and she stood up for our freedom and she stood against the aggressors. So it's going to be a very sad day and we'll never forget what she'd done.
But it was just amazing to think that they were sort of talking to the Prime Minister in Stanley on a funny old January afternoon just a few months after the war. And despite one's political feelings, you just had to give the woman her due because she was like a dose of salts going around the Falklands for 4 days. Wherever she stopped or saw people, she got in among them, and she was unstoppable. And after 4 days, she left as secretly as she'd arrived.
Well, it's a very sad day for the people of the Falkland Islands. Mrs. Thatcher is obviously very well remembered and well loved for being the person who led the liberation of the Falklands in 1982. There were probably few people around in political life who could have done what she put together. And she'll be ever remembered for that. But of course she visited the Falklands twice and met a lot of Falkland Islanders, and the Falkland Islands were always in her heart, and she was always very keen to know how the Falklands were getting on after the liberation.
For us here in the islands, of course, she will always be remembered for events of 31 years ago and sending the task force. And I have to say, having been here and living at that time, hearing her sterling speeches in the House of Commons and her quotable quotes, I never had any doubt of the outcome, simply because there was an extremely strong, very high-principled leader in charge of the whole operation.
It's very sad. I heard it on the news this morning, and I think it's very sad to think that she's passed away, because she always will be the Iron Lady to us, and if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be here today.